If you haven't kept up with the NBA, the Washington Wizards currently hold the undisputed honors of being the worst team in the association. Their two stars were once role players on championship rosters, third or fourth options at best, yet the Wizards rolled the dice, betting that pairing them would spark something spectacular. Instead, the results have been nothing short of humiliating. I mean, last year they finished second to last, and this year hasn't been any better. By December 7th, 2024, just 20 games in, the Wizards had already spiraled into a 16-game losing streak, leaving them with a dismal 2-18 record. For context, that's an 11.11% winning percentage, good enough to rank them among the three worst teams in the league's 75-ish year history. At this point, calling them an NBA team feels generous. They honestly look more like a G League squad, and you wouldn't be crazy if you bet on the G League champs to take them out in a best-of-7. Well, enter December 7th, a night no one had circled on their calendars. The Wizards were up against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, a matchup that felt more like a formality than a competition. As we all know, Jokic isn't just the reigning MVP, he's arguably the best player in the league today, and the scary truth is, he somehow keeps evolving. Like, he's smashing expectations this season with career highs in points and assists, all while leading the league in rebounds. He's on pace for a fourth MVP and playing like a basketball cheat code. On paper, this was a massacre waiting to happen. I mean, fresh off a brutal loss to the Cavaliers, the Nuggets were hungry for redemption, and everyone expected the Wizards to be their punching bag. But what unfolded was anything but predictable. On December 7th at Capital One Arena, in a game destined for one of the greatest upsets of the year, Jordan Kid Splash Poole transformed into Steph Curry and absolutely owned Nikola Jokic in a performance no one saw coming. This wasn't just another regular season game. It was the night Jordan Poole shocked the basketball world.
Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this, Chris. I've never seen anybody like Nikola Jokic.
The game started exactly how everyone expected it to, with Jordan Poole struggling.
Poole. Working on Westbrook.
And to be frank, at the start of the game, it felt like one of these moments where you couldn't help but think to yourself, is this guy really getting paid $100 million? On the flip side, however, it became crystal clear why this man is earning the big bucks.
Easy look, dime by Jokic, finding Christian Brown, putting two hands on the rim.
Every time I watch Jokic play, I'm completely in awe. He makes basketball look effortless. Like, he consistently delivers performances that make you think any 7-footer could dominate and be a superstar. I mean, just look at this behind the rim shot, which he makes look so casual. Unfortunately, it didn't count because the refs decided to be lame, but regardless, Jokic was absolutely on a tear because, just as usual, his team was a mess, leaving him with no choice but to carry them. Sure, Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray were out, but come on, this was the Washington Wizards we're talking about, a team on a 16-game losing streak, and they were missing key players too. Before anyone could believe it, the Washington Wizards, led by Jordan Poole, were giving Jokic a serious run for his money, with his team suddenly down by 11.
Sit out. Poole with a bounce pass. Valanciunas.
Then, to pour more fuel on the fire, something you rarely see happen, Nikola Jokic got bodied to the ground.
Valanciunas bodying his way inside as Jokic fell to the ground.
For anyone who thinks Jokic doesn't take things personally, think again because, well, he went right back at JV for a bucket and then started scoring like an absolute madman.
There's a big man battle going on here in our nation's capital.
Battle of the big backs.
It had to be frustrating for Jokic, though, because by the end of the first quarter, he was already 5 for 7 with 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, well on his way to another triple-double. Yet, despite his MVP performance, his team was still trailing on the scoreboard. To make matters worse for Jokic, for the next 24 minutes of game time, starting in the second quarter, Jordan Poole transformed into a prime Steph Curry and decided to show Nikola who's boss.
Poole, deep three. Hit that one from Springfield.
You know that saying about everyone getting 15 minutes of fame at some point in their life? Well, this was, of course, Jordan Poole's 15 minutes of fame because the man went absolutely unconscious and started looking like number 30 himself. I mean, just look at this nasty pump fake by JP3, completely faking out his defender before drilling the three. By this point, Jordan Poole was feeling it and turned into a one-man offense for the Washington Wizards.
Jordan Poole has scored the last 11 points for the Wizards.
In that moment, Jokic knew the game was slipping away, leaving him with no choice but to dig even deeper. He wasn't just carrying the team anymore, he was shouldering the hopes of the entire Nuggets organization. Because the truth is, it was a double-digit deficit with just a few minutes left in the first half, and everyone except him had done little more than watch Washington rack up points. And the last thing anyone connected to the Nuggets wanted was to be that team. Jordan Poole, however, on this night wasn't about to let Jokic steal the show and decided to match fire with fire. In that second quarter, Kid Splash poured in 16 points while the Joker countered with 13 of his own. The third quarter played out much like the second, with Jokic's teammates contributing very little while Jordan Poole stayed red hot.
He is feeling it tonight.
Jokic quickly realized that if his team was going to win, the burden would fall squarely on his shoulders. Shifting into full attack mode, he wasted no time igniting a comeback, and before anyone could blink, the Nuggets had clawed back to within 5 points. For Jokic, it was shaping up to be one of those nights.
Whatever you can do, I can do better, says the Joker who gets the and one.
How many times have we seen?
Unfortunately for the MVP, however, Jordan Poole was playing like prime Steph Curry, going shot for shot with Jokic and getting everyone involved. At this point in the game, Poole was simply unstoppable. He was absolutely filthy and even delivered a drowning in the pool celebration.
Been here in the third. 14 in the third quarter.
Are you kidding me?
Jordan Poole.
In the third quarter, Jokic had to take 20 shots to scrape together 23 points as his teammates offered little support. Meanwhile, Jordan Poole remained highly efficient, lighting up the Nuggets with 14 points on just 7 field goal attempts. To start the fourth quarter, Jokic must have been sick to his stomach as his team opened the final frame by shooting 0 for 8.
0 for 8 now from the field for the Nuggets in the fourth quarter.
Jordan Poole, on the other hand, was having the game of his career, and he knew it. Sure, he'd won a championship with the Warriors and had his share of great moments in Golden State, but this was different. Now, as the leader of a team, he stood just 7 minutes and 35 seconds away from defeating arguably the best player in the league. It's not as if the best player in the league was having an off night either. Jokic was utterly unstoppable and on track for a career-high performance. As for Poole, unfortunately, his Curry-like magic started to fade after he was knocked to the ground on this play. And from that point on, his magic just wasn't working anymore. I mean, Poole had plenty of chances to land a dagger, but like I said, his Steph Curry powers only lasted 2 quarters. Even then, however, the man was doing everything he could to maintain the lead and get the win, like selling calls.
Great sell by Jordan Poole right there, taking the dive.
Now, I don't blame him for taking this dive. What else are you supposed to do when your superpowers fade, but your opponent's still growing strong? Somehow, someway, the Wizards managed to stay in the lead. And in a 5-point game, the Nuggets made a baffling decision to sub out Jokic for some strange rotation pattern. That opened the door for the Wizards to seal the deal and put an exclamation mark on the game. Jordan Poole was ecstatic. He accomplished something even Steph Curry hadn't managed earlier this season, beating Nikola Jokic.
And for the first time since October the 30th, the Wizards are victorious.
To add the cherry on top, Jordan Poole not only beat Jokic, but did so on the same night Jokic scored a career-high 56 points. This guy, who might just go down as the best center in modern NBA history, had his best scoring night ever, only for Jordan Poole to show him who's boss and debut his new celebration for the world to see. But perhaps even more meaningful for Poole, it marked his first win since October 30th. The final score was 122-113 in favor of the Wizards. After the game, NBA fans went absolutely wild. MVP who? Nobody beats the Wizards 17 times in a row, wrote one fan. Another chimed in with, I've seen enough, plan the parade. A few more thoughtful fans added their takes. At least the Lakers are wasting the final years of LeBron's career. The Nuggets are wasting Jokic's prime. You see, Jokic's mistake was that he was too good. He got these guys paid. To which someone replied, Jamal's contract is the nail in the coffin. And finally, that was basketball terrorism. Just difficult to watch anyone do something whose name isn't Jokic. What a game, guys. What a game. The funny thing is, after that incredible performance, Jordan Poole went right back to being, well, Jordan Poole. After dropping 39 points and playing like the 2016 version of Steph Curry, he followed it up by shooting just 2 for 6 from the field and scoring a mere 9 points in the next game. Jokic, on the other hand, well, he came back with a vengeance in the next game, torching Trae Young's Hawks with 48 points on just 29 shots. The final score, 141-111. All that pent-up anger unleashed. And all thanks to Jordan Kid Splash Poole. Anyway, on a different note, have you ever heard of a superstar so incredible that they actually saved a teammate's career? Think about how Jokic got Murray paid, how Jokic secured the bag for Michael Porter Jr., and so on. Well, in the WNBA, there's a story about a player named Lexi Hull, who seemed to be on the brink of getting cut until Caitlin Clark put on her Superwoman cape and saved the day. It's an inspiring tale and a testament to what true greatness can achieve. If you're curious about what I mean, don't miss this video right over here.